listener, and you're welcome back to another episode of Evie Unbounded. As always, I'm your loving host, Evie Jane, and this is my podcast about showcasing all the amazing women who are breaking down the barrier. We are real and unbounded in this space. And today, I would like to welcome a guest that I have the pleasure of meeting, a really good girlfriend of mine who's also her sister. She received her undergrad degree from UCLA. Yay, Bruin.
Go Bruin.
Yes. Later she went on as a consultant to Arthur Andersen. You know what? I didn't even know that about you, but we're gonna get to that.
Oh, I know. The weirdest
you don't
thing.
Because you don't look like it. You don't act like it. Anyway, then you work with Did she work with Calvin Klein? And then you were the director of product development with Donna Karan. I know Donna Karan stuff. I love her stuff. I think that's still older generation. I don't know if like
it is
20 would know, but I thought Donna Karan stuff was beautiful. If you go to my closet, I still have Donna Karan stuff.
Oh, I love
the dress. Anyway, so for the last two decades, you've been working for Iomoi and is now co-founder partner. You changed the name called Parker Thatch. So we're going to talk about how you changed the name because I didn't know that either. So let's get to that. Why you changed the name and how you even pronounce it? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. So
I love it. Okay, so when I have a company with my husband, and we've been working together now for almost 20 years now. Pretty crazy.
Amazing.
I know.
Okay, so that's another thing we're going to talk about. How is it like to work with your husband on the day-to-day,
Definitely need to talk. It's so funny because my friends are like, okay, well, we can't even get in a cab and decide to go one street without arguing with each other. How do you guys do this every day?
Yeah.
It's so funny, but that's all we know in a weird way. And it's worked out really well. So we'll talk about that. But how did we change our name? So initially when we started the company, it was called Iomoi. And we liked it because I owe myself something. And I thought that was so cool. We liked how it looked as a palindrome and aesthetically as a logo. It was all lowercase, so it looked very balanced. But then as we started a company and as things went on, as you know, it's like everything's on the web. And so like you just said, it's really hard to pronounce and it's really hard to remember. And so
okay, good. I'm not the only one because I was like, okay, it's just me. So I'm like, I mean, you see the name because I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
It's so bad. And then throughout our like lifetime here doing Iomoi, Matt and I became really good friends with Andy and Kate Spade. And Andy is a amazing marketing guy. And he said one day, you guys, I love you guys. I love what you guys do, but you need to change your damn name because it's impossible for anyone to remember. And I want to share your company name, but I can't remember it myself. And so they actually, in a really weird way, worked like, it kind of was like, you guys need to change it. And then they kind of helped us figure out, well, how does it sound? And it was like a good half year. We're trying to figure it out. And then finally we came to Parker Thatch, which is the name of my daughter, who's Parker, and my son is named Thatcher. And then it just kind of sounded nice when you could, and then it was really easy to spell. So that was a weird thing. And it's a weird thing as a company where you're like, how do you even do this? And, it was just like, Andy was like, just rip the Band-Aid off, just do it. And I'm like, okay. And then so we did. And then we've been Parker Thatch since I think now for about 8 years now. So it's been a while.
Well,
and it's been great.
I think the name is great. Even before I find out that that's your kid's name, I really like the name. So, and then it actually matched with the style of all the collection you have. Not that Iomoi have a certain style, but I don't know. It's just
weird. It sounds right. Thank you. So it's been a lot easier. And, it's like even before when we would be ordering stuff and you're saying your email, and then it would take like half an hour to pronounce it. So I'm like, now it's so much better. So
and the person who gave you that advice is the husband of Kate Spade?
Yes. And he's an amazing marketer. So that's why he's like, you guys need to change it. And we're like, okay, coming from you, we will do that. So that's
really cool. There's a good memory on Kate Spade who passed away. So I love Kate Spade stuff too. So that's good.
She's terrific. terrific.
Yeah, it's a great story to tell how the name come about. Okay.
Yeah. We
So
changed it, so it's all good.
yeah, and then how does you and your husband start working together? Always from the wait, is it you guys were together since in the beginning creating this line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were just talking about it with someone else. So we met in New York, and we both worked together at a sort of an incubator in the year 2000. And then, you know, when the web blew up, Matt went home to Australia. And so I
Wait,
went.
so he's Australian? You married to
No, he's
Australia?
Canadian, but his mom is from Australia. So then we,
Oh, you got the best
so then
combination.
I know, right? And so
Right.
we went, and I was like, okay, well, I might take some time off also, because I was really burnt out from working in New York, and it was just a lot. I traveled so much for those last 2 years when I was working that I felt really burnt out. So then I'm like, all right, I'll take some time off. And then we went to Australia, and then Matt has this incredible background in computer graphics and computer design. And so Matt used to send me emails like really early when, do you remember AOL and we were dialing up still?
Oh my God, yes.
And it was insane. So like those were like we were exchanging emails through dial up, and he would make me these beautiful little like stationary things that would have like a peony on it. And I'm like, God, that's so cool. And so basically when we were in Australia, we are like, what do we do? So we combined both of our, you know, I guess backgrounds, and then we decided like, well, maybe we could do something like fancy stationery that you could send online.
Were
So
you guys dating then or no? You guys were just
yeah,
friends?
so we were dating. And so and in Australia we were dating. So we're like, okay, that's kind of cool. But it was way too early. So basically in the year 2002, we basically made like he hand coded paperless posts basically in 2002. So it was really early. Like everyone's like, what? I don't get this.
The beautiful was Postmate, not Postmate.
Yes. Paperless post. Yes.
Paperless post. Yes.
Yes. So
So he
basically
was
that's what
doing
we
that.
made.
Oh
He hand
wow.
coded it, and then I was like, well, I could help design the designs for it. And so because everything out there was sort of kind of goofy like Hallmark, but there wasn't anything really elegant and beautiful. So we're like, well, maybe there's a market for that, because I thought I loved it when I would receive those notes from him. So it was just too early. But then what happened was people kept asking like, well, we understand what you're trying to do, but we really want the actual paper with the designs on it. Can you do that? So
Really?
at that time,
not like the e-post.
Not like, no, not virtually, because it was kind of early back then.
Okay.
For that kind of, it was just way too early, I think.
Uh-huh.
And then we're like, okay, well, we have to survive. We have no money. We have no job. And I actually, both of us moved after Australia, moved home to San Francisco and lived with my parents. And so we're like, all right, well, I guess what we're going to have to do is make paper, I guess, with the design on it. And then so that's what we did. And that's how we started our whole company.
Oh, wow. Wait,
From
so it wasn't even
paper
a fashion. So it was a paper station to fashion.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was paper
Interesting. Okay.
stationery with designs that were very like, you know, kind of elevated. And then we started with paper. And so that's how we started our company. Then we went on to home goods. And from there, we just slowly then rolled into accessories and found our way into handbags. So it's a very weird story.
Yeah. So what was the first accessory then handbag? What was the first thing you guys created from, since I guess paper stationery?
Yeah. So the first handbag we made was in 2009. And it was so before we were making all our designs, and most of our designs were custom. So we would make custom trays and custom paper with your name on it. So it would have Evie on it. And then
on the bag.
And then one day Matt came to me. It's a real partnership, the two of us, how we work. And he said, hey, listen, I've really figured out how we can actually customize and print on cotton, on actual cotton. And I was like, cool. And he's like, is there something you would like to make from that? And I was like, I would like to make a bag. And he's like, okay. You want to try it? And then so at that time we were still like small, and we didn't have time, we didn't have money to even like make a sample, you know. We're like, well, where do we even go for that? What do we even do? So it's the best story. So I go to this woman who used to hem my pants, our dry cleaner, and I noticed that she was excellent at hemming pants. And I was like, what do you do? Like, what kind of background do you have? Because from working at Donna Karan, I could tell she was like more than just hemming pants. And she's like, yeah, actually, I got my degree and now I have to help my parents at this dry cleaner. So then I remembered that and I was like, hey, do you think you can make me a pattern? And she's like, yeah. So then our first bag was made from a dry cleaner. So the woman
You're
who
kidding
was
me.
a woman who was made the pattern was the woman who hemmed my pants at the dry cleaner. And then we took the bag shape, and then Matt was like, well, I can't make we can't make fancy handles. So he's like, I can cut 2 leather strips and then we could rivet them onto the bag. And I was like, okay. So then that's how we made our first bag. And it was made from canvas and, like nude leather, which is kind of like the Louis Vuitton leather that gets dark after you use it. And that was our first bag. And then from there, we sent it out. And at that time, the editors were really kind to our company. And that bag just went crazy during the holidays. And so that's how we started. And that bag has always been our original bag. And it's still a bag on our line.
What was it called? Because I went online on your line.
Yeah.
I went on your line. There's so many bags that I want all of them. So, which is not a good thing.
Thank you.
They're all great. Like,
Thanks, Evie.
I had to show the audience, this is my favorite bag. Because
I love that you travel with that so much. It makes me so happy. I would see you with it on.
This bag travel more than other people, real people. Seriously. It's going everywhere with me, even to like places that nobody heard. And the reason is I don't carry a bag normally.
That's what you said. And that's why I'm so honored that you carry a bag and you carry that bag.
No, so seriously. Cool. If you're looking at my Instagram story or every photo, I never carry a bag because I always feel like it's like a baggage for me.
I love that.
It's my own mental issue. So
I love that. And it's like,
it
hugs your body and you're free. So I love that.
Yeah. So this bag is perfect. But then I love bag. I do. And then every time I want to look at you, when I go on your line, I was like, oh my God, I want every bag. This one I really want is made of the denim material, the jean material.
I love denim. I love denim.
Because that's something if I have to carry a bag, that would be my bag. Because like I said, I normally don't carry a bag because I feel like it's like a baggage. It's my own issue. So then I want to be so this is a perfect bag for me. So
I love that. I love it. So the bag that we originally started with is named the Mimi bag.
Mimi bag. Okay. I know which one.
Right. It's a square one. It was in canvas. And basically I did product development, but I'm not a designer. Like I don't sketch, I don't draw, I don't do any of that stuff. So it's always like a visual and a verbal thing. And then I just have to work with the pattern makers to figure out exactly the shape. So
great though. It looked great.
Thank you. So we figured it out with the first bag, and it's just so funny. Like we really did this from sticks and stones. Like we would go to Joann's Fabrics. It's like a fabric store. And so Matt and I, when we first started this bag, they had 50% off coupons for canvas. So the two of us would stand in line and buy every roll of canvas they had in the store. And then every day we would go buy canvas. And then we started making that bag through the dry cleaner. She would sew the bags. And then Matt would make the handles and bang them. And then we would figure out how to print on them. And that's how we made the first bag. And then that was what we were doing for the longest time. And we go back to meeting my friends, Kate and Andy. So Katie bought the bag from us. And somehow, I don't know what happened. We've been, she's been ordering from us. And then we somehow then just met. And then we met and then she became great. We became great friends. And then she was the one that encouraged me, like, hey, I love this bag so very much. You might want to consider doing it in other fabrications. Have you thought of that? And I was like, no, but maybe, yeah, right? And then that's how we started making the bags in other colors and other fabrications. And it was always that one bag. And then that's how we kind of went from doing home goods and, paper goods rolling into actual accessories.
No, it's perfect because it's such a it's a great creation because it's such a basic bag, but you make it so fun and pretty and by using different material, but the style never changed. So it's still classy because you can always carry that bag. It doesn't matter as how some of the trend goes. that bag is classy, and then what you do with it, you make it fun. So I have different material, like you said, and then also the handle would be different.
Yeah.
And then now you have the leather canvas, and I also see like the army looking
Denim. Camo. I love that. Yeah.
Those are the ones that I love. And then I can't decide. No, but it's true. Like I can't decide. Like, should I get denim? Should I get the lion, the army looking one? You know, because that would be easy to travel to, or the canvas one. So
I love that.
Those are the
but
ones.
I think you hit it. I think you totally hit it on the nail with like what we try to do, and you totally understand it. It's like, all I want to do is make your life really easy and elegant. So the fact that you don't have to change out your bag makes it really easy. But then you don't want to be just schlepping a bag around. I think you want it to be elegant, but it could fit into all different scenarios. So you could bring it on the airport, but then you could take it to dinner. And it kind of all, or you could put your gym stuff in there, take it to the gym, but then you could actually go to lunch with your friend with it. And I think that's what because I'm not a fussy person, but I'm also like, well, I want to look nice.
I love your style. You always look nice. Your style is effortless but classy. That's how I describe your style, and it's true. I mean, if the artist should just follow you on Instagram, they just follow you on Instagram, because you do a lot of talk and you show up your new product. I wasn't even looking to your product, because when I see you online, it's more like I was looking at your outfit and then your accessory.
So nice.
How you put everything together, like even your necklace, I love, right? Your shirt.
Well, you have it on. It looks so good.
I know, I love it. I love it. Just so happen we're both wearing it. But it was just like the stuff you pick out and put it together is, I love that style. And then that said a lot about your bag, because your bag is the same way. It's very effortless, but it's classy. There's another one I really love. Your bag was, it's a bigger one, but you can close it with all the leather in. I don't know what the collection name is, but it's leather, and it's a recent one you post on your Instagram. And I was like, I want that bag too. But then I was like, I want that different bag. Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you.
For someone who doesn't carry a bag, I mean, I like all your bags.
So thank you for that. That means the most, actually, because I remember when I met you and you're like, I don't carry bags. And I was like, okay. And then you're like, carrying the sling bag, and I was like, that's so cool. She's carrying, like, I was like, she's carrying a bag.
No, because when you meet me, I remember I walk around with my phone and my wallet. That's it. I don't even bring my car key. So it literally just my wallet and my phone, but now I carry your bag. Talk about your sling bag. Another good thing about that is you can change different belt, right? That's another idea you guys come up with. That was great.
I love the fact that you can do that. And I think, and it's so funny because I find that we were thinking, like, I love the fact that you're in the whole spirituality of things and really finding yourself. And I find that making a bag like this, where it's sort of not a blank slate, but it's pretty, like, you could put your own personality. And like you said, you could change out the straps. I feel like you kind of need to make it your own. And making something your own involves getting comfortable with yourself. Instead of just seeing something where you're like, oh, I want to wear that. But sometimes I do that and you're like, I feel so uncomfortable in this. Like, it's not me, Yeah. And I feel like that's the whole part of now why we do things. And we've been doing it for so long, but I've come to like a new place and a new chapter with what we want to give out. And I think it's more, how do we help you find yourself, and how are you comfortable in your clothes, and you could feel, which then translates to feeling really great about yourself. And I think feeling that allows for you to do a lot of things in your life, and it changes your perspective.
Is that the reason you had the stone for your necklace and accessory? I love it, because the crystal. I was reading it. It's for manifesting. There's another one for love, which is so out. I can't get that. There's another one which is like the tooth, the elephant tooth that was really horn, pretty. The horn. I love that. And there's another one which I got for our mutual friend Tony Cole for her birthday.
Oh my God! Yes, that's right.
Because she also have this one, so I got something different, which is a lavender one, amethyst. The amethyst one.
So kind.
Yeah. So how
it's really important.
How did you move from that to accessory then?
Oh, well, it's so funny. Okay, so we've done bags for a long time, and then I personally have this crazy collect. I love vintage things, so I have the most insane collection of just the craziest stuff that I've been collecting since I was a little kid, actually. And then so I always wear jewelry, and then people were always asking me like, "Where do you get your jewelry?" And then I'm like, "Oh, well, it's just my own stuff." And then just for fun, I just started like, "Hey, maybe I can make a necklace or a bracelet just
Yes,
for
you
fun."
can. Yes,
and
you
then
can.
and then you start, and then I was like, this is kind of really fun. So and then it's just grown into its own little category, and it kind of complements the whole idea of just like making your life easy and elegant. Like you could wear a white t-shirt but throw on a great necklace, and then you've got a great
Yep,
outfit on. So that's,
that's
I
what I
think, the
did.
reason why I
Exactly.
love
And
that.
that's exactly what I did. And then just like even the necklace that you're wearing right now, the one I also wearing, I
Yeah,
love it
yeah,
because you can adjust it. And
yes,
and literally you can take this off too. So
yeah,
for someone who travel, I never check in back my bag. It doesn't matter how
yeah.
long I'm gonna be awake, just because
Oh, I love
again,
that.
I don't carry my bag. I feel like the baggage,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
my mental issue. Anyway, so your jewelry is
Not a mental
perfect.
issue.
It's
That's awesome.
perfect because you can adjust
uh,
it. You can play it like the
Change
way
it
you
up.
want. Exactly. I mean, even just looking at audience, I don't know if you can see it. Even the way I
Yeah,
wear it, the way you
I
wear it is
love it.
completely different. And then I can
Yes,
change
but
it
it's the
again.
same necklace.
Yeah, it's the
And I
same
think
necklace.
that's like, honestly, like, you just, there's so much stuff out there to buy, and I think that the key is just like, how do I make it easy for you? And like, how
Mm-hmm.
do I make it so that you can have one item? Because I'm practical. I don't want a bunch of stuff, you know? So it's like, if I buy one thing, I should be able to use it a lot for different purposes. And I think
Yeah.
that's really important.
Your
So
sister
I
wearing
don't
your
know.
stuff all the time, and then I
I
start
know. She
notice
looks
your
so good in
stuff.
it.
She looks so good with it. I mean, seriously, the reason I noticed your stuff was because I don't shop. It's not because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
You're
really shop.
busy.
Yeah, so I pretty much got noticed all your stuff to her because she would show up meeting me for lunch, and then she always have this really cute
So
bag, or she have this really nice jewelry, the necklace that we have. And there's another one so she wear it longer, so it's really
oh,
cute on
I
her.
love
And
that. I
she
love
also
that.
have
Oh, the
bracelet.
bracelets.
Yes,
I love that. That's so
it's
cool. That's
it's
so
so
cool.
cute. So I actually like, if you ever go online like at night, I can't fall asleep. I shop on your line, and it's so crazy because now
Good.
you have socks, right? Not just
Oh my God,
purses.
yeah. That's
You
right.
have
The
cute
socks are so fun.
socks. So
The
like
socks
I
are
also
so
got that
funny.
for Tony also because I'm
Oh
like
my
she
God,
can
you're so
totally pull that
funny.
off. Yeah.
You're
So
so
how
funny.
how that become bag and jewelry and then to socks.
The socks, the socks came from, okay, so when we were doing all of our stationery and all of our home goods, we have this entire treasure trove of all this art that Matt has drawn.
Ooh.
So Matt and I partner when we do the art. He's an amazing illustrator. So he draws all the art, and then I color everything. So that's our part, when we
Oh,
create together, that's how we do things. So we have all this art that isn't being used. And then so I was like, well, why can't we put them on socks? And they're just fun. So it's like a fun thing for like when we have our favorite icons and characters, we put them on the socks.
any other next, thing that I should be aware of that I can look forward to? Maybe like a baseball cap or t-shirt. That'd be
I
great.
know, I know. We're gonna do some for fall. We might do some like shirts. So that's what we're doing. So we
Okay.
might do some of those.
Make sure you have
Because
size
again,
extra small because I definitely want it. I want this
I will
t-shirt. That'd be
do that,
so cute.
Evie. I love
Yay.
that. Yeah,
Well,
I just, just
that's really amazing how like you and Matt can work out so well. Like you two literally co-creating stuff together, right? But
yes.
like how you get to do that at home and also doing that at work? Because I think for a lot of married couple, I think this is really hard to. How long you get been
Yeah.
married now? Over 20 years?
Yeah. So I think it's like, well, and it's so funny because Ellen, my sister, and she worked with her husband, and they created an insane company together,
Yeah,
which our favorite, Mendocino Farms. We gotta
of
share
course.
that. It's so good. And so I think we're the same in terms of the reason why we can work together is we agree on the bigger picture. So we agree aesthetically how things should look. So those are all things that we have already agreed to. And then that makes the creation process a lot easier. So when we look
Okay.
at a font, both of us like that font. So it's not this like argument over that doesn't look right. So I think that's the foundation of how we work so well together. And then I think it's just really respecting each other, respecting each other. And he has where he's really strong, I'm where I'm really strong. And together, I think it works really well. And I think respecting each other is really important, and
But
he's insane.
But do you guys talk about work even when you get home, or it doesn't matter, or how
Oh
that
my
work
gosh.
at home? Yeah.
It's just like we're real partners with everything. So at home, it's all about the kids and it's all about who's picking up who's taking out like we have all these roles that we play and everyone just does what they do. But when we get home, we're just home. Unless there's something that we really need to figure out, we try to figure everything out at work. And then at home, we're just hanging out. And I think also because we're so used to working together that it's just the way we are. But I mean, for sure, we do argue. It's not like it's all great. Like we do argue about
No, of course. But how you resolve when there's a disagreement, or how you guys decide if there is a disagreement?
I think when there's a disagreement, you get all hot, everyone gets all mad. But then when we step back, I think we both think about it in terms of, well, actually, that's her area of expertise, or that's his area of expertise. I think he's right. And I think that's where it comes from. And it all stems back to respect. And I think we respect each other and where we both come from, and what we're good at and what we know really well. So it's kind of cool. It's weird. But then when we're at work, we're so busy. He literally sits, right next to me, but we're so crazy busy on the phone. Like we're not even talking to each other half the time, or like we're on a Zoom call and he's at home where I'm here. So it's just so weird.
Well, do you guys mind see each other like 24-hour pretty much?
We do. I mean, we do. It's so crazy, but then we're so busy. We're so used to it. I think that's the other thing. And like a lot of married couples, they don't see each other until nighttime, right? Until whoever comes home or both come home. So it's just kind of weird. It's really weird, but it works for us.
So the best advice you would give other couple if they have to work together or not even working together, I think mutual respect is the key, isn't it?
I really, really believe that. And just really respecting and like, hey, you're really good at that. And that's what you're really good at. So yes, mutual respect is key.
What is the next thing that you're looking forward to? I mean, I know that you were thinking about maybe making some t-shirt for the fall. Any other big project that like you would wanted to tell us, or what would you like to do with your next project? What would you like to do?
Well, I think what we're really working on growing, to the next level of where we are. And so right now we sell mostly direct to customer. We have some stores that we work with, but we really may want to start creating our own stores. And that's where we can really shine and we could really just have all of our stuff in one store and people come in and just really see the breadth of Parker Thatch and really feel it and just be in this environment, So I think that's the next goal that we would like to get to.
I can't wait. Yeah, because I would definitely. I actually thought when I shop online. If I do shop, I shop online, and I thought it was beautiful the way the e-commerce is beautiful, and it was actually really easy to find and to look at stuff. Because I was looking at switching the belt,
the straps out,
the strap. And it was really easy to find. And then you also accessory was really easy to find for stuff. I mean, I didn't have any hard time to shop online on your website. Yeah,
that's so cool.
So whoever designed them, I don't did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so crazy. Like when you do your own thing, it's a lot. And it's a lot sometimes where it just you wear so many hats. And you're just exhausted by the end of the day. It's just like, you really have to persevere. And that's what I've really learned, and it just really, it's hard.
Your daughter, Parker, I mean, did she get to enjoy it and be like so happy that she can have all the really cool bag and accessory going to school?
That's the weirdest part, right? She's like, no, I don't really,
really?
It's so funny. I think, but now she's sort of getting into it. The other day, she was like, do you have a navy blue suede? And I was like, yes, I could get you one. Because before I'd be like, do you want this? She's like, no, thanks.
Now
But
she's
now I
starting
think she's
to.
coming around. She's coming around now, finally.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
it's kind of
cool.
cool. Yeah,
Well,
it's really
did
cool to
you,
see.
what about parenting? Do you and Matt ever expecting either one of your kids wanted to get into the fashion or
You
helping you
know,
guys?
it's so funny because it's like I truly believe in it's so weird coming from Asian parents where my
I
parents
know.
were just but they were very cool. Like you see like Ellen did her own thing, Alice does her own thing.
Yeah.
They're just really cool about the fact that you should do your own thing. And that's really rare for Asian parents to allow that for their kids. And I really feel this that I want to pass that down to them. Like you have your own passion and you should try different things, and sometimes you might be surprised as to like what you're good at that you're like, wow, that's crazy. But you
I
kind of have to follow your passion.
I would always say I want you to adopt me as a little sister, and I want your parents to adopt me because you can have three sister, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
in Asian culture, they always,
yeah,
at least my family, they value the
yeah.
boy more than the girl. So, but not
We
in
had
your
no
family.
boys.
Yeah, not in your family, because in your family is like all girl, three girl, and you got all very close. And
Yeah.
I never hear Ellen complain about not having a son in the family. Like you
No, and that's so funny because my parents always said that, like, because we had no boys in our family, and there's a lot of pressure culturally, I think, in their generation to have
yeah,
a boy. But they
yeah.
always encouraged us, like, hey, we have no boys in the family, and you guys are just as good as boys. And I think just knowing
Oh,
that and giving them that strength, or us that strength, I think it's just like you're just like, hey, I could do anything I want. And I think that's how we were brought up, which is really weird, but really awesome. So that's
adopt
what I
me,
want to pass
please.
down.
I know I'm gonna tell your parent you guys could have a fourth sister. Adopt me, please. Seriously.
They're just
No,
super cool like that.
you're right. Because and I was telling Ellen that because especially in the Asian culture, it's like they value the boy. So
Yeah,
it's really awesome to see three girls in the family and your parents are very open-minded, very encouraging.
very
And
much so.
look what you guys do so far. All three of
You
you
know,
have your own company. Yeah.
it's so crazy. And I just feel like that's what you should encourage for your children, like, and you're going to hit bumps and you're going to like try things. But if you don't try it, you might not, and you might try something and it might not be what you want to do. But later on, whatever you tried may help you in your endeavor that you're engaging in now. So
Mhm.
I think it's just really interesting that
We
that can
always
happen.
we always ask the podcast guests like what would be advice you give the younger self, right? So I think
Yeah.
I think I know what you're going to say because there was so many good things that you were talking about, which I think is really helpful for like marriage, relationship, a couple, starting business, or even family. But what would you say to the younger self of you knowing what you know now?
I think if I could tell myself in the young when I was younger, like you need to really like try to work on being very comfortable with yourself. And if you're not
Mm,
comfortable with yourself, you're always trying to be something that is not you. And I
hmm
think, the way where we grew up and, just being an Asian American in a really white town, I think that's really hard sometimes. But then, like, I wish I had embraced that more in a weird way because you're always trying to be like, well, I'm kind of uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So I think just really being comfortable with that. And I think, it's taken me a long time and you're still working on it. But I think that's when your most beautiful work shines, is when you're just like embracing yourself and you're like, like this is what I like to wear and this is what I like to carry. And it makes me feel good. But that takes a lot of work, as you know, Evie. It's
Well,
work.
you make it look very easy. I'm to be honest with you. Like you're like the French chick, like effortless. I was like, you just put that white shirt on? Did you just put that? And that looked great. Would you just I need to like take a note on that, It's like so anyway, girls looking at her Instagram, you would know what I mean. I it's hard for me to explain it, but
You're
you
so
know how
right.
you always do like a little quick clip like showing the new bag and you're always coming out with the outfit and you're always so happy coming from the door with a new bag showing
Oh,
us.
thanks,
It's really
Evie.
cute.
No, it's just like it's so important, I think, just to be comfortable with yourself.
Be
And it's so
comfortable with
hard.
yourself.
It's easier said than done. I think that takes a lot of work. It really
Yeah.
does. But I think the more you work at it, it's just really wonderful. Like the more you work at it, you learn all these things. And I also feel like it's really important to keep learning
Yeah.
new things every day. And I think that's part of self-growth. And I think it's I really would like to tell myself that when I was, like, hey, just be comfortable with yourself and lean into it.
That's amazing. Thank you, Irene. That's really good advice. I mean, you're right. It's hard because I'm still learning about self-acceptance, right? So
Yeah.
thank you.
I think
Well,
that's going to be a journey for an entire lifetime.
yeah. Well, it's still learning. At least, like you said, continue to learn, right? Be open about it. Be open mind, and you're welcome to all the changes and acceptance and learning. So yeah.
Yeah, and I love what you do. I've been listening to all your podcasts, and
Yeah.
I
Thanks.
love how you give voice to, just show women out there like like, hey, sometimes when you don't believe in yourself, you can maybe listen to one of your podcasts and then you're like, wow, she did that. I could do that, maybe
Yeah.
I'll try it. And I think that's so important. Like, like sometimes you're like, well, am I too old to do that? No,
Yeah.
there's never too old. Like, like try it. And I think that's really important.
And then one thing I really like about, first of all, I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky because everybody on my podcast are my girlfriends. So my
Yeah, they're
girlfriend's sister.
incredible friends. So
So
incredible.
yeah, you always so inspirational and inspire me to be better. And I wanted to have you guys to be on the show because it make other women to realize that we all the same. We all just trying to figure things out, still learning, so
And
you can do it.
and I love your example, honestly, of like, I love your example of the fact that you just travel on your own. That is so huge. Like even me, I'm like, whoa, she's just going by herself. But that's amazing. And like I was like, well, if Evie can do it, I could probably do it too, And I think that's such an amazing like that's what you do naturally. And it's like I guess it's like you're saying like you just put on the shirt, like that's just something natural, but like you do that naturally where I'm just like, oh my God, like how does she even do that? So I so respect that. And thank you for just showing us that all the time. I love following you and you're just like, I'm in Mexico. And I'm like, what? You're like, and then like, you're like, I'm going to
That's a
London. I was
learning.
like, what?
That was a learning experience too, because my first trip solo was actually Iceland. And then I realized Iceland is safe for a women travel
Yeah.
solo. And then just from
Yeah.
there, you just go more and more. And then I was like, hey, I just go travel by myself. Oh.
It's seriously incredible. So and like, that's something I would really love to learn and do. And you really inspire us to believe that that's something that's possible, and it's super cool.
Well,
So
I
thank
can
you.
wait.
Thank you.
What I really wanted to do is you need to come down to LA so we can take you go eat Chinese hot pot. That's our
Yes.
favorite.
Oh my God. That's what we're eating tonight. So yes,
I
I
that's
will
what
think
you
of you.
want to do.
Yeah, my
Oh,
kids love hot pot. So there's a place in Berkeley we always go to. So we're gonna
damn
go
it.
eat that tonight. So
Yeah.
it's so good.
So
But yes, I want to go with you and Ellen to hot pot next time we're in
yes,
town.
we were going to show you the best Taiwanese hot pot and then all
Oh
the
my
good
God, I'm so
Taiwanese food
excited.
when you're in town. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I can't wait. I really can't
Well,
wait.
thank you for coming on our show tonight.
Oh my
Tonight, I
God.
might say tonight, today. So it's still daytime, but I feel like almost gonna be dark. But thank you so much. And
Oh, Evie, thank you.
we had to put your social handle on our podcast so people can look it up and people
Thank
should shop
you.
online on your store because it's amazing. So
Thank you. And I'm going to share you so that other women can be like inspired by all the other women on your podcast, but
oh
also
yeah.
inspired by your traveling. So
The
I
bag
love
gonna be
following
traveling
your
with
travel.
me next week to Europe and
I
Ibiza.
love it. I love it. That's a lucky bag. Thank
I
you so
know.
much, Evie.
Thank you.
Be
Okay, bye,
safe.
Diary.
Next
Bye.
time, hot pot.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.